Yeah.
Those are weird. Dang, these are weird.
Ready? All right, I'm Barbara Miller, and this is my persuasive speech. As you can see here, I have two nice apples, pink ladies, my favorite, in my hands. But if you look close enough, you can see that one is definitely a little shinier than the other, a little rounder, doesn't have any blemishes like this one over here does. Not too many differences, but enough. But we've all heard the saying, you can't judge a book by its cover. I can tell you that this one is way better for you than the one in my right hand, because it's organic. Today I'm going to distinguish the difference between conventional foods for you and organic foods, and why eating organic is much more healthy for your health, your environment, and your community. The majority of our food these days in our grocery stores come from conventional farms. These farms are designed to produce massive amounts of food in the quickest amount of time possible. But there's a price to pay for these speedy delivery and cheap prices. Conventional farms use chemicals to fertilize their crops, and they spray their fields with pesticides to kill insects. They use synthetic herbicides to manage their weeds, and for their animals, they give antibiotics, growth hormones, and medications to prevent disease and spur growth. The food that is produced by this way of farming is not healthy for us due to the food that is covered in chemicals and pesticides that we receive. However, organic farms can provide a solution. Instead of using chemicals and pesticides to fertilize their soil and kill insects, organic farmers use manure and compost to do the trick. They spray only with natural sources, and they use crop rotation and hand weeding to stop the weeds. For their animals, they will feed only with organic, healthy meals and allow them to graze outdoors, and they have nice, clean housing to prevent diseases. I would like to point out to you 3 main reasons why eating organic foods is better for your health, environment, and community. And first, I'd like to talk about your health. Thanks. I came across a book in this study. I'd like to read just a portion of it out of you for it. It's very helpful. It's entitled Food and Nutrition Controversies Today by Marna and Mark Goldstein. He says in here, information about effects of pesticides have primarily been obtained from studies of pesticide applicators and farm workers. Common reactions to pesticides include nausea, lung and eye irritation, and temporary nerve damage. And tests on animals indicate that some pesticides may cause birth and immune defects. It is suspected that many pesticides may interfere with hormonal systems that regulate functions like reproduction. And according to an article from Global Healing Center, children seem to be greatly susceptible to toxic effects from pesticides because they're still developing. The Natural Resource Defense Council has collected data which recorded higher incidences of child leukemia, brain cancer, and birth defects. These results correlated with early exposure to pesticides. My Aunt Loretta and Uncle Marty own an organic dairy farm up in Minnesota. They told me that most consumers are coming into organic foods because of the health benefits it has. My Aunt Loretta said customers don't want chemicals. They don't want pesticides. They're concerned about antibiotics and GMOs, which I'll talk about in a minute here, and hormones, she said. People like the product that eliminates this uncertainty, and that's just what it is. There's uncertainty there of what we really are receiving in this nice shiny apple. So speaking of GMOs, genetically modified organisms, Organic Valley Farms has a great website with tons of information about organic foods. Their website says, there have been many arguments justifying the incorporation of GMOs into the food supply. However, there is evidence that GM foods have an increased risk of causing allergic reactions and uncontrollable cross-pollination, which depletes crop diversity, which has resulted in super weeds or super pests. It's clear that primary benefits of GM seeds are for the seed and pesticide companies, but not to the grower or the consumers. And many risks are still yet unknown. So by avoiding food and pesticides on them, you will be providing possible health risks for yourselves and your children. So I've talked to you about why organic foods are healthier for you. Let's consider why organic foods are better for your environment. The Mayo Clinic website states that organic farming practices are designed to benefit the environment by reducing pollution and conserving water and soil quality. The Environmental Working Group website says America's wetlands and prairies are being lost, and our drinking water and food supplies are contaminated with toxic pesticides, fertilizers, hormones, and antibiotics. The productivity of our farmland is being depleted, threatening future generations and farmers. OrganicValley.org makes a good point in the following statement I found off their website. Healthy soil is the backbone of successful organic farms. Hundreds of studies conducted over the 50 years have compared soil quality on organic versus conventional farms, and virtually everyone has concluded that organic management practices substantially enhance soil quality. In addition to that, the carbon footprint is reduced. According to newfarm.org, just one 320-acre organic farm going organic equals to 117 cars taken off the road and 1,462,500 miles not driven. Eating organic foods can benefit your health and your environment. But many times we forget about the last reason I want to point out is how it benefits our community. Have any of you guys been to a farmer's market before? If you haven't, they're fun. You should go to one sometime. Farmers markets are a great way to support your local community and the organic farmers that are there. By buying food from them, you can be rest assured that what you're getting is not a plate full of chemicals. I also have another book I came across I'd like to read, a little insert about just supporting your community. The Organic Food Handbook by Ken Rosenborough. He states, people like connecting with farmers. They can ask the producer how they grew the food and what their growing techniques are. People come to the farmer's market for many reasons. The choice, freshness, variety, and the one-on-one contact they get with farmers are very important. Now, this concept of community really hits home for me. Like I said earlier, that my aunt and uncle own a dairy farm up in Minnesota that is organic. And I have a video I'd like to show you of them and how their experience with working with a company called Organic Valley Farms, and just kind of shows what the company stands for and how it does benefit the community. Play that quick.
Organic farmers, they're really proud of what they do, whether you ship Organic Valley or Horizon, whoever. But there's something beyond that. I think it's just, I don't think you could have the fulfillment shipping to a big corporation as you are shipping to your own company. I think that's part of it.
Well, Organic Valley is an independent farmer cooperative that is on a mission, and it goes way beyond producing a first-rate, top-notch, nutritious product. They are concerned about maintaining and sustaining family farms and the rural communities around those farms. They're involved with issues of animal health and human health, and certainly the environment, and it goes even up to a global level. So that's rather rare and unique, and we're just really proud to be Organic Valley Family Farmers.
It was kind of a little plug for Organic Valley, but I like what my aunt has to say there. Just it benefits the environment, her health, and the community, and even her immediate family. So in conclusion, I hope I've brought some insight to you as to why you should reconsider buying organic foods over conventional foods. Organic foods are better for your health. They prevent you from receiving those toxic or unknown things that are in our foods. They're better for your environment, leaving less of a carbon footprint. And by supporting your local farmers market, they're great for your community. So ask yourself, next time you're at the grocery store and you see these two apples, even though one's may look a little brighter and nicer, I hope you choose the organic apple so you can support your own health, your environment, and your community.